Hi everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Constance and welcome to another episode of my English classes. I hope you learned something from this class, okay, that will help you in your exams, alright? Thank those persons who has taken the time to subscribe to my video, those who have shared and made their comments. As you can see, I responded. So I thank you very much for the words of encouragement, alright? Today we're going to be talking about literary devices, and the topic on the literary devices is going to be irony, alright? So let's get started. Okay, irony. What is irony? Irony is a device which speakers and writers use to point to a contrast between what is stated and what is really meant. What is stated and what is really meant. Or between what is expected to happen or what actually does happen. Alright? What is expected to happen or what actually does happen. Okay, there are two basic types of irony, two basic kinds of irony. It's situation irony, and then there is verbal irony. Alright, situation irony, verbal irony. So when you go into their exam, I'm pretty sure that's the question they're going to ask. So they will ask, what are the two types of irony? Remember, situation, what is happening around you, and verbal, whatever you speak, what someone is saying. Alright, so here I've give an outline of what is situation irony. Alright, this is evident when event turns out to be different from what is expected. Situation irony is evident when events turns out to be different from what is expected. Example, a salesman selling fire extinguisher dies in a fire and he didn't have any fire extinguishers to save his life. A salesman is going around selling fire extinguishers, telling his customers how important it is to have a fire extinguisher because it can save your life, it can save your property. Alright, and here comes, he dies in a fire and he didn't have a fire extinguisher to help himself. So that is a case of situation irony. Alright, the next irony is verbal irony. Verbal irony. Verbal irony refers to a statement in which the implied meaning intended by the speaker or the writer differs from what is overtly expressed. Verbal irony refers to a statement in which the implied meaning intended by the speaker or the writer differs from what is overly expressed. Alright? So here I've given you an example. Why do they need education? Someone is asking, why do they need education? It would only make them unfit for living. Why do they need education? It will only make them unfit for living. Now, you can see the irony in that, right? Because everyone knows you need education for you to prosper in life, for you to not necessarily survive, but for you to prosper. Alright, because if you don't have a degree, you might not have a degree, but you might have some form of skill like hairdressing or sewing, dressmaking, or doing of the nails, or shoemaking, or baking cakes, or cooking, or something of that effect. So those are manual skills, right? So you still need some form of education to budget, to know the different type of supplies or ingredients you're going to use for your cooking, or to put in the person's hair, or to do their nails with, or the amount Okay, so you need some form of education. You might not have the master's or the PhD, but you need some form of education for you to prosper well. All right, so here this person is asking, why do they need education? It will only make them unfit for living. So as the outline says, express or explain verbal irony. I don't know if you can read between the lines. It refers to a statement in which the implied meaning, okay, intended by the speaker or writer differs from what is overtly expressed. Overtly means clearly, what is clearly expressed. All right? So you can say a person, what you need education for? Or so why you need water for? The sun is hot and you ask why you need water for. Okay? Because you need to quench your thirst. Alright? So that's an ironic verb, that is verbal irony. So it's what the person speaks or writes. Okay? Verbal irony. So I hope you have learned something from this class. Hope to join you in my next class. Thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please do subscribe. I notice I have not many viewers, but quite a lot of viewers, but you're not subscribing. I would appreciate if you subscribe. Thank you for joining me today. I am Constance and I'll catch you in my next class. All right? Bye-bye.